Hello dear students of the third secondary stage and welcome to a new lesson. Today we're going to deal with unit 6 lesson 2 causative verbs. طبعا causative verbs هي مجموعة من الأفعال أنا بستخدمها للإشارة لشخص ما قام بمهمة أو قام بفعل أو نفذ شيء لي. يعني مثلا أنا بتكلم عن الميكانيكي مثلا فبقول إني I went to the mechanic to have my car fixed. فأنا بقول بالعربي أنا رحت للميكانيكي يصلح السيارة أو رحت صلحت السيارة بتاعتي. فهو في الواقع أنا لما أقول أنا رحت صلحت السيارة بتاعتي فأنا مش أنا اللي صلحت السيارة، شخص آخر هو اللي قام بالفعل. إزاي أنا أعبر عن ده بالإنجليش؟ قال لنا في مجموعة من الأفعال بنسميها causative verbs. Let's start with one of them. في معانا make وبيقول لنا we use the verb make to say that someone or a situation forced someone else to do something. It is usually followed by infinitive. طيب هنشوف example كده. بيقول لنا make someone do something. يعني أنا دلوقتي لو استخدمت الverb make فبيجي بعدها الشخص اللي أنا خليته يقوم بالفعل وبعد كده verb في الانفينيتيف بالظبط كده. ممكن أقول make something وبعدها past participle بتاع الفعل اللي معايا. يعني make مثلا the car fixed. طيب تعالوا نشوف الإكزامبل. أول إكزامبل بيقول لنا my parents make me tidy my room. طيب إيه اللي بعد make؟ الشخص اللي قام بالفعل. فماي parents جعلوني أنا make me أو بيجعلوني أنا tidy. هنا في verb في الانفينيتيف اللي هو إيه؟ tidy my room. يبقى بعد make الشخص اللي قام بالفعل اللي هو me وبعد كده verb في الانفينيتيف form. example number 2 بيقول لنا my parents made my room tidied. الله، يعني make هنا جه بعدها الشيء اللي تم القيام به او الاوبجكت اللي وقع عليه الفعل. وبعد كده the past participle تصريف رقم 3 للفعل اللي معنا. طب ممكن اقول ايه كمان؟ قال لنا ممكن استخدم make ويجي بعدها الاوبجكت بتاعي وبعد كده استخدم adjective صفة. يعني ممكن أقول my parents made my room clean. كمان ممكن أستخدم make في الإيه؟ في الباسيف فورم. فمثلا ممكن أقول إيه؟ لو أنا عندي جملة causative وعايز أحولها للباسيف فهقول طبعا الجملة مثلا لو هي في الباست مثلا فأنا هحول made اللي هو في الباست إلى was made. فهقول I was made وبعد كده بحط full infinitive أو to infinitive. أستخدم إيه؟ to infinitive. يعني أنا بقول I was made to clean the room. I was made وبعدين to infinitive. يبقى لو الcausative verb بتاعي محطوط في الباسيف يبقى الverb اللي هيجي بعد منه هيكون to infinitive. في معانا كمان let وallow. يقول لنا we use the verbs let and allow to say that someone has permission to do something. طب تعالوا نشوف كده الإكزامبل. بيقول لنا the teacher sometimes lets us watch a film. إيه ده؟ يعني let جه بعدها الشخص اللي تم السماح ليه وبعد كده حطينا verb فين؟ في الانفينيتيف form their infinitive يعني مفيش معاه to يعني infinitive من غير to. ده بالنسبة ل let. الله، طب لو أنا حبيت أستخدم في نفس الإكزامبل ده حبيت أستخدم allow هقول the teacher sometimes allows us watch ولا to watch؟ to watch. ليه يا مستر؟ قال لنا لا، لأن allow بيجي بعدها full infinitive يعني يجي الشخص اللي تم السماح ليه وبعد كده to وinfinitive. في معانا note بتقول لنا we use to plus infinitive with allow. دلوقتي هنعمل shift لحاجة مختلفة وهي verb stop. بيقول لنا we use the verb stop to say that someone or a situation makes it impossible to continue doing something. معانا example بيقول ايه؟ The cold weather stops us from going outside. يبقى بعد stop جه الايه؟ الشخص اللي تم ايه؟ ايقافه او منعه. وبعدين بنستخدم ايه؟ يا اما verb ing يا اما from و verb ing. معانا كمان verb get. verb get من الافعال اللي هي افعال causative المهمه جدا، وليها قاعده برضو المفروض ان انا اركز فيها كويس قوي. بيقول لنا we use the verb get to say that someone or a situation forced someone else to do something. It is usually followed by to plus infinitive. طيب هنشوف الاكزامبل كده. get someone to do something. يعني get بيجي بعدها الشخص اللي انا يعني خليته او جعلته يقوم بالفعل، اللي انا يعني forced him يعني ارغمته ان هو يقوم بالفعل، وبعد كده to infinitive يبقى get someone to infinitive. طيب قال لنا ممكن استخدم بعد get الشيء اللي وقع عليه الفعل اللي هو الاوبجكت يعني، وبعد كده past participle يعني get something وبعد كده ايه الباست participle done. هنشوف الاكزامبل كده. My parents usually get me to tidy my room. get جه بعدها الشخص اللي ايه اللي تم يعني امره او ارغامه انه يقوم بالفعل، وبعد كده طبعا to infinitive to tidy. طب لو انا حطيت بعد get الاوبجكت اللي هو the thing الشيء اللي وقع عليه الفعل، ممكن اقول ايه my parents usually get وبعدين الايه الشيء my room to infinitive past participle تصريف تاني get my room tidied. My parents usually get my room tidied by me. انا لازم اخد بالي من get لو جه بعدها الشخص اللي ارغم على القيام بالشيء يبقى بعد كده to infinite. لو جه بعدها الشيء اللي وقع عليه الفعل يبقى past participle بعدها. معنا كمان verb have. وverb have من الافعال المهمه. بيقول لنا we use a verb have to say that someone or a situation forced someone else to do something. have someone do something. لا يعني have يجي بعدها الشخص اللي أرغم على القيام بشيء أو طلب منه القيام بشيء وبعد كده infinitive. بالظبط كده. طيب لو جه بعدها الشيء اللي ساعتها نستخدم past participle. يعني بتتفق مع get في هذه القاعدة. لو جه بعدها الشيء يبقى يجي past participle. لو جه هنا برضو بعد have الشيء يجي past a participle. الإكزامبل بيقول I have my car fixed. فبعد طبعا have حطينا الشيء اللي وقع عليه الفعل وبعد كده past participle. لكن في example 2 بيقول لنا I have the mechanic fix my car. ايه ده؟ يعني بعد have جه الشخص اللي قام بالفعل وبعد كده infinitive. يبقى have جه بعدها الشخص اللي هو the mechanic وبعد كده ايه bare infinitive. اوكي اللي هو infinitive without. Now dear students we're gonna shift it to the exercise. You're gonna choose a correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Number 1. I went to the mechanics to have my car يا ترى fix, fixing, fixed or to fix. طبعا to have my car yes bravo fixed. ليه بقى؟ لأن بعد have جه الأوبجكت أو الشيء اللي وقع عليه الفعل. Number 2. The teacher didn't allow the students space in class. طبعا معانا الفيرب allow بيجي معاها ايه؟ ايوه to plus infinite. يا ترى eat ولا eating ولا eaten ولا to eat. Yes, excellent. طبعا إجابة صحيحة to eat. Number 3. I got the electrician space my radio. Repair, to repair, repairing, or repaired. طبعا احنا عارفين ان جات بيجي بعدها الشخص اللي قام بالفعل وبعد كده to plus infinitive. So the correct answer is to repair. You will read a report by a researcher about the effects of changes to the way the students study. Then answer the questions. A report on a recent study into productivity among students. In our research study, we assessed the productivity levels of 16 to 18-year-old students. طبعا احنا عارفين ان 18-year-old students 18-year-old طبعا دي compound adjective صفة مركبة بتوصف لنا students وعشان كده ما اقولش 18 years old فبقول 18-year-old students. The aim was to find out which situations led to an increase in the students' productivity levels. طبعا احنا عارفين ان lead to يؤدي الى او يقود الى وبيجي بعدها noun either a noun or a gerund. طيب فبيقول لنا كمان بيكمل بيقول ان الايم الهدف was to find out ان احنا نكتشف which situations led to an increase in وطبعا increase هنا now in the students' productivity levels while they are studying. We chose a group of 250 students and asked them to keep a diary over a 6-month period. طبعا هنا برضو 6-month period 6 months بتوصف لنا period ودي طبعا compound adjective صفة مركبة. In these diaries they wrote down how much time they spent studying every day and what they achieved واللي حققوه. At the start of the study we asked all the students to make a change to their study habits. Change هنا noun بمعنى تغير أو تغيير. We wanted to find out what effect this change would have on the students' productivity. طبعا هنا effect بتاخد طبعا yes برافو بتاخد ايه؟ بتاخد ال preposition on. What effect this change would have on a student's productivity. We repeated this process at the start of every month. For the rest of the study, we look at the effects of varying study habits. Our analysis of the students' diaries resulted in طبعا في عندنا result from وفي result in. result in يؤدي إلى لكن result from يعني ينتج عن. فهنا بيقول لنا resulted in some interesting conclusions. استنتاجات interesting شيقة. We noticed that most students' productivity levels increased significantly when they got up earlier to study before school. This was even true for students who had said they weren't very efficient when they studied early in the morning. On the other hand, most students' productivity levels declined significantly when they regularly studied until late into the evening. Another interesting finding was that studying with other students had a very positive effect on some students' productivity levels, but a very negative effect on other students' productivity levels. In conclusion, وطبعا احنا عارفين ان احنا غالبا في نهاية الرايتنج لما أكون بكتب essay بكتب article يكون عندي concluding paragraph أو الباراجراف الختامي، وطبعا ممكن أبتدي بإيه؟ بقى مثلا الفريز اللي هي in conclusion، ممكن أقول in brief، in short، to sum up، to conclude، to wrap up. كل الحاجات دي تنفع أبتدي بيها the concluding paragraph. In conclusion, we can state that studying in the morning seems to help most students to become more productive. But the effects of other factors، طبعا factors معنى عوامل، تأثيرات عوامل أخرى like whether or not students study alone vary depending on the individual. يعني في عوامل أخرى زي إيه؟ لو الشخص بيذاكر alone لوحده أو مع ناس تانيين يعني vary بيختلف depending on على حسب the individual الفرد نفسه. Now dear students we're gonna shift to the exercise. بيقول لنا answer the following questions. Why did the researcher decide to do this study؟ ليه قرر يقوم بهذه الدراسة؟ يقول لنا they wanted to find out which situations make students more productive. Okay. كانوا عايزين يكتشفوا أي المواقف بتجعل الطلاب أكثر إنتاجية. What is the central idea of the report؟ الفكرة الأساسية بتاعت الإيه؟ بتاعت الريبورت كانت إيه؟ يقول لنا the central idea of the report is to find out what situations increase students' productivity. What data did the researcher use to draw his conclusions? The answer: the researcher used data from the diaries the students kept. طبعا about their experiences. بمعنى كمان question number 4 بيقول لنا when and how often did the researcher ask the students to change the way they study? The answer: the researcher asked the students to change the way they study at the start of the first month and then at the start of every month for the next 6 months. Question number 5. What way of studying helped some students to be more productive but made it more difficult for other students? The answer: studying with other students helped some students to be more productive but made it more difficult for some other students. طبعا زي ما احنا متعودين بيكون معانا مجموعة من الأسئلة، بنظهر الأسئلة، وطبعا أثناء سماعكم للlistening نحاول نجد إجابات للأسئلة اللي ظاهرة قدامنا على الشاشة. أقرأ لكم بس التايتل بتاع السؤال وبعد كده نسمع مع بعض listening. يقول لنا listen to a question and answer session with the researcher who wrote the report. Match the questions with the summaries of the researcher's answers. يعني احنا هنعمل matching ما بين ال questions وال summaries of the researcher's answers اللي هي طبعا مكتوبة باللون الايه البرتقالي. طيب let's start. The conversation is between woman 1, woman 2 and the researcher. Woman 1, do you think you will get the same results with younger students? Researcher: good question. We're actually going to let the younger students take part in our next study, and I would expect that we'll see similar results, by which I mean some students will become more productive in response to the changes we make, and others won't. Man, did you have any situations where a student really didn't want to make the changes that you asked them to make? Researcher: well, we definitely didn't want to make anyone study in a specific way. That isn't what it's all about, and it probably isn't going to work. Fortunately, all the students who took part were happy to make the changes we suggested. In fact, sometimes it was difficult to stop them from continuing with the change when we needed to move on to the next one. Woman 2, I wanted to know if the students in the study allowed you to share their diaries with other researchers. Researcher, oh no, we agreed to keep all of this information within our research team. We saw that as private information and we're just sharing our analysis of it. Now, dear students, after listening to the listening text, let's answer the question. طبعا مطلوب مننا ان احنا هنا to match the questions with the summaries of the researchers' answers. The first question we have is, do you think you get the same results with younger students? Number 2, did you have any situations where a student really didn't want to make the changes that you asked them to make? Number 3, I wanted to know if the students in the study allowed you to share their diaries with other researchers. Let's read the summaries of the researchers' answers. A. The researcher says that this wasn't a problem. B. The researcher expects that this will happen. C. The researcher says that he never planned to do that and won't do it. So, how can we match question number 1? Yes, bravo. We can match it with, yes, terrific, with B. Do you think you'll get the same results with younger students? The researcher expects that this will happen. Number 2, how can we match this question? Did you have any situations where a student really didn't want to make changes that you asked them to make? Yes, terrific. We can match it with, yes, with A. The researcher said that this wasn't a problem. And number 3 takes, yes, takes C. I wanted to know if the students in the study allowed you to share their diaries with other researchers. The researcher says that he never planned to do that and won't do it. Now, dear students, let's show the text. Woman 1, do you think you will get the same results with younger students? Researcher, good question. We're actually going to let the younger students take part in our next study, and I would expect that we'll see similar results, by which I mean some students will become more productive in response to the changes we make, and others won't. Man, did you have any situations where a student really didn't want to make the changes that you asked them to make? Researcher, well, we definitely didn't want to make anyone study in a specific way. That isn't what it's all about, and it probably isn't going to work. Fortunately, all the students who took part were happy to make the changes we suggested. In fact, sometimes it was difficult to stop them from continuing with the change when we needed to move on to the next one. Woman 2, I wanted to know if the students in the study allowed you to share their diaries with other researchers. Researcher, oh no, we agreed to keep all of this information within our research team. We saw that as private information and we're just sharing our analysis of it. Now, dear students, we have come to the end of this lesson. Wishing good luck and bye-bye.
فهمت الدرس؟ ده وقت التطبيق مع تدريبات واختبارات نافس. حمل الآن.